Hello and welcome to a fun race. Check out the specs. The J50 has noticeably higher PR than the Silvia that I'll be driving. However, did you look at what matters? And at Melbourne, grip is a big factor. So look, this is going to be fun. And why did you start playing this game? You probably started playing this game because you wanted to have some fun driving cars. And then along the way that morphs. And I mean, it definitely morphed for me. You're farming for currency, you're saving currency, you're being careful with your spending, all that stuff. And once in a while, you just need to go have fun. So I'm saying that because this is not a high-paying race. It's not even necessarily a good-paying race, but you can be the judge of that. I'll give you all the numbers at the end. But this is a riot. Like, check out how fast I'm driving here. Now, these are the lower PR cars. Like earlier in an endurance race as well, the bots are driving bad. That chicane, I won't be braking for that. In fact, it's surprising how often you don't need to brake in this car. Melbourne is an awesome track. If you don't like street courses, Melbourne's different. It's actually a fantasy track. This has never existed. With that being said, it's incredibly well thought out. It's a really good course. Like when I think about, that's kind of tight. When I think about, New York or Hong Kong or Berlin, the street courses for Formula E, they all feel a lot tighter. Like this has some tighter sections, but look at this. I mean, you could easily race 3 wide right here if you wanted to. And it's just, I love Melbourne. It has such a nice flow. It's actually a high-speed track. Like, okay, watch this. Watch the chicane here. Now, I know he's going to overbrake. I gave it a little tap because I just wasn't sure. You keep watching that. Also, this chicane coming up here, if there's no one in my way, full throttle. Just pin it right through there. That's awesome. So I love this track because there's no hairpins. It's a high-speed track. And this car is just awesome here. This car does so well at these types of tracks. Another track I absolutely love in this car is the Laguna Seca, a track that I used to hate more than any other track. In this car, oh, is it ever a lot of fun. Okay, so this is an endless endurance race. It's possible to do that with no tricks, right? This is Melbourne. Where am I going to be going off track? Now, this gets sketchy here. This isn't the perpetual point. If you're watching and you've watched my other videos, this isn't the perpetual point. This is the gaggle you see when you're going from one car to the next. So the J50s are getting hung up by the Silvias because the J50s have really good acceleration. Like you're going to notice that if you look back at those specs, the J50 has really good acceleration compared to the Silvia here, which has bad acceleration. But honestly, guys, if you or I were driving this as a street car, we'd be laughing our heads off to have this type of acceleration that the Silvia has compared to what you deal with on a regular day and what you see on the streets. Like, I would love to have this type of car. Like, this is the type of car I think would be an awesome street car. I'd honestly rather have this than that J50 I just drove by. The J50 would probably turn more heads. I'd have more fun on this though, because that was a bit too much, wasn't it? This car would be so much fun on the corners. Now look at this, full throttle. I think he's going to pull away. Yep, we're getting right at the perpetual point. You can tell because these bots are now difficult. So we're going to do some skipping ahead here. Check this out though. So you got to thread this chicane. You got to really be aggressive. That's where you get nice overtakes. At all corners, you get your overtakes. You do have to drive this pretty aggressive. This isn't easy, okay? It's actually not easy. It's a lot of fun though. It's actually worth it for me. Like, I did nail the perpetual point my first try, but then I gave it a few more tries. Okay, here's the perpetual point. I'm there. Let's start warping ahead to where things go wrong. Blasting through the chicane, trying to squeeze. Oh, did you hear that horrible cracking? Yeah, I'll check after the chicane. Yes, I've got a cracked windshield. Well, you know me. What am I gonna do, guys? What's gonna happen next? Well, yes, I don't care about my bumper anymore. Time to get nasty. I probably just had stage 1 damage, but I started doing a lot of bash and pass. Some of them cost me more than they should have. And that was dangerous. You know what I mean. You probably had eaten the wall, and that was brutal. Just a nasty smash and pass. Okay, so then I decided, let's buckle down. I've got a totally destroyed car. Can't get any worse. Let's get back to racing. Because I actually was having a lot of trouble refilling the clock. Now I've got to end this, usually I end it at 50 kilometers. I'm going to 55 because the first place guy, always got to take a look. He was like 52 point something and I want to get max pay. And I just did a video about this, that unless you finish first, you don't get max pay. Your pay rate goes down. So for this type of race, you're going to lose 10% for finishing second, 20% for finishing third on both your fame and your R dollars. Oh, that was risky. You can't afford a major incident here. I mean, of course, you saw me smashing the snot out of people. Look at that, though. That was a nice, clean overtake. I mean, come on, guys. You got to give me credit for that. You can't get here by smash and pass, okay? To reach the perpetual point, you need some really fast, clean racing. In fact, one thing we're going to look at is my average speed over the whole 55 kilometers. And, okay, this is nasty. Oh, I thought I was going to get some retribution. That corner there, barely touching the brakes. Like, you might have noticed this. I'm not on the brakes very much. Like there, that's a heavier braking point. Here, you don't need to brake. You could take it full throttle, but then it's harder to set up this corner. But if no one's in your way, man, you can fly through this. And here, sometimes you got to plan your overtake. Like you can blast this, pass on the left or the right. Ooh, that's a little bit sketchy. Okay, we're coming up on the point here. Oh, that overtake. I don't think I've done that in any other car. Like the VW IDR could do that. There, I finally filled the timer. And we're going to stop this right at 55 kilometers and take a look at the numbers. I had a lot of fun. Don't forget to have fun. By the way, the paint job on this thing, pretty cool paint job. It's actually pretty easy. It's just using the patterns and gradients and getting a blend there. You know what? I'll throw a video about how to do this kind of thing at the end here. So I'll put up that video and I'll put up some other stuff that you might find interesting. Very close to the end here. I wonder if I'll hit the start-finish line. Oh, I didn't hit him. Isn't that great? This amazes me. From here, you can go full throttle if there's no one. Well, okay, well, if you don't hit the walls. And there we go. Ended right there. And yeah, actual race time, 16 minutes, 40 seconds. That's longer. Average speed was 198 kilometers an hour or 123 miles an hour. That's fast. Fame and R, that's horrible. That's not what the agent or the manager, but this is about fun. Please like and subscribe, drop me a comment. See you on the track.